I've been in this town for over 50 years, well over 50 years. And I've met a lot of leaders in this town. Rex Richardson is a young man that us old folks can be very, very proud of. He's very smart. He's a man of God. He has a family. He's a family man. He's running for mayor. And he wants to say a few words for you, but let me say this, that I endorse this man. I've never endorsed candidates in my 54 years in this city. Never. I'm a journalist. Journalists don't do that. But I'm stepping out on faith because this man we're going to face some tough times in this city, in this country. And having him at the helm, a man of God and a smart man, it would bide us well. Rex, come on and say a few things.
All right. Let's hear it for Errol Parker, my dear friend. I'm Rex Richardson. I'm here with my lovely wife, Dr. Nina Richardson, and my daughters, Alina and Mila, who are 7 and 5. I wanted to come out because this is an incredibly important election, and I'm no stranger here. I've visited this church on numerous occasions, and what I'll tell you is I was just recently at the AME conference in Los Angeles a couple days ago, where I saw Reverend Eagle. He said, hey, if you have some time on Sunday, we would love for you to come by and just talk with the congregation a little bit about what's at stake. And so I said, absolutely, we will be there. So this is our second church service of the day, and we have a few more events to make it to. I'm not here by accident. I understand that, we've never had a mayor from North Central or West Long Beach before. I know that I was called to this because God has opened doors to allow for me to be where I am, and I fully acknowledge that. I also know that our challenges ahead are great. We know what we've dealt with the past 2.5 years. Pandemic that has impacted all of our communities and disproportionately impacted poor communities and Black people and Latinos. We also know the economic downturn has made it more difficult to maintain a job, and half the people in our city are having a difficult time finding housing. 50% of the people in our city are what's called rent burden, meaning they're spending half of their income on mortgages and on rent. We also know that the majority of our city are living paycheck to paycheck. And so whenever we have economic uncertainty, they say when it rains in America, it pours in the Black community. That is especially true here in Long Beach. That's why when you saw that we already had a homelessness crisis prior to the pandemic, it got worse, right? So, but I'm optimistic that by working together, we can overcome these challenges. I know it because I've seen it before. We saw it, how the Black community came back from the crack epidemic in the 80s and the 90s. It was difficult. It impacted many of our families, my own personally. But we saw that, through hard work and determination, we've been able to come back. We know that a lot of our folks are realigning, coming out of the criminal justice systems and prisons in our communities. I'm hopeful that Long Beach can invest in things like reentry services and workforce training to make sure people get back on track and can reintegrate in society the right way. I'm hopeful because even when we had unrest downtown, the very next day, it was many of us, and some of you there with us, sweeping up glass and painting out graffiti and boarding up windows, because that's the spirit of Long Beach. That's the true spirit of our city, the hard work, grit, determination that it takes for us to overcome. And so I have no doubt that we can overcome these challenges. I'm proud that, we did a good job in the primary. We won 7 out of 9 council districts. Every district in Central and North and West and downtown, even one of the 3 East Long Beach districts. But we can't take this for granted. There's a reason why we've never had a Black mayor in Long Beach. The forces who resist change are doing everything they can to deny this moment. And we have a responsibility to step up and talk to every one of our neighbors about what's at stake in this election. We can go forward and make sure that every community has what they need to thrive, or we can go backward and continue this tale of two cities that we've had for generations with a 17-year difference in life expectancy. In our communities, our children live 7 years shorter than if they're born in other zip codes, simply based on the lack of opportunities, poor air quality, and the lack of resources that we have in our communities. I understand that. That's why I'm running for mayor. So that is what is at stake. Now we have 16 days to make a difference, just 16 days. And I checked yesterday I saw the ballot statement, I saw the report, only 3% of ballots have been returned. If we continue at this pace, we will not win this race. we anticipate that 45 to 50% of voters will turn out. If that happens, we win this race. But we have to make sure we get our souls to the polls. We make sure that we get people out to understand what is at stake. There are ballot measures out there, from creating our city's first police oversight commission to very important races on the ballot. And so I humbly ask you these next 2 weeks to get engaged. Talk to everybody that you can that is a registered voter in Long Beach, and make sure that they return that ballot and that they vote for me for mayor. Because together, we can make sure that our city recovers from this pandemic, recovers from this economic catastrophe in a way that nobody is left behind, and we are building back stronger and more healthier than we were prior to the pandemic. So thank you again so much for inviting me to come by. I'm glad that we were able to make it. Errol, thank you so much. And to your beautiful congregation, continue the tremendous work that you've done for more than 100 years here in the city of Long Beach. Thank you so much.